Welcome to the ninth Will Mentees graduation ceremony. We're very pleased to have you all. This is a very exciting batch. I always think that this will be the best batch I will have, but I'm always surprised. Next year, I always get a better batch. So it's very heartening for me to find that we can actually get better all the time. And then I think, no, nobody can be better than this batch. Not because you're smart, not because you're intelligent, but because you're aspiring. And then I think, okay, but I got a better batch. So, this is, I think, one of the things that I learn is that you can always get better and you can always go beyond your expectations. So, one of the things is that during the Will Mentees program for 5 days, when you all come, the first thing that I do is that I keep watching you. I know that there are 50 of you, but it is possible to watch all of you one at a time. And I keep thinking, look at how they walk in. Look at how they sit down. Look at how they think about what they're going to learn. And then slowly you unfold one by one, and then I watch you unfolding. You come in a particular way, but you actually don't know what you brought to the table. So our job through this wonderful faculty that we have is by one, the faculty tries to bring out the best in you. That is at least what I tell the faculty. I tell the faculty, try to bring out the best in all of them. The topic is not important. The topic is only a tool. I always say you've actually learned everything. The problem is you don't bring it out. If you didn't learn anything, you actually wouldn't be in these jobs. And that is why I think in leadership, the issue is not about learning. This learning business, I don't know. You can learn a skill, you can learn some knowledge, you can learn some experience, but learning by itself is a very scholarly thing. You shouldn't use the term lightly, it's very scholarly. So each one of you come and then the faculty helps you find out what you already have. One by one, they take it out. That's why we have different topics. Sometimes we have a topic on governance, so just sort of fine-tune everything. And then I see how you meet at lunchtime, and then I break you up into groups, right? And then it becomes a problem, because all of you tend to begin and start bonding with your groups, which is very nice. It's in fact what we want. But at the same time, I notice how you begin to gravitate towards your groups. And then I see how the groups become such a company in itself. You become an entity, right? And then within the group, you try to find out what's the best resource. So I'm noticing how when each one of you did the group presentations during our mock presentation, you actually knew she brings this, she brings this, she brings this. You need to do that in your own company. Exactly what you did in the group. The problem is that the company is not giving you ownership. That's why you're not doing it for your company. If you can do it here, you can do it there too. But the company is not giving you custodianship. They're not giving you ownership, like your group becomes your own. And so then you try to bring out the best resources and your presentation is excellent. But I always see how you bring each one resources out. And then I also see how sometimes at lunchtime, many of you, one at a time, bring out your challenges. Yes, one at a time. That you don't do in groups. That you bring out one at a time. So many of you, and I think it's very good that you do, because otherwise you'll always think that, it will remain latent inside you. And it won't actually come out. So it's good that you bring out these challenges one at a time. You'll catch me on the sofa, or you'll catch somewhere else. And I think it's really good that our faculty also stays here through the evening, so that you at least have one good faculty member with you. So that's what we do in the 5 days. I really don't think we try to teach you anything. Yes? We take what you have and then we try to unleash it. Does anybody here have a copy of my book? Does anybody bring? Janice? Okay, I just want to read a page out of that. One of my key challenges to myself is by the end of the day, I must know everybody's name. And those whose names I do not know will have to try to make themselves more visible in the next programs, whichever program you do. Clearly, if I don't know your name, you're not visible enough. So you will have to try just a little harder. So, one of the reasons why I wrote the book Leadership by Proxy is because I often forget what I say. And once I write it down, then I remember what we have to say. So the book is called Leadership by Proxy, and I'm going to go over the first couple of pages where I wrote down this. I don't know if I gave it to you in the beginning, but I will go over it one more time. And I only wrote this page at the end of the book, when I finished writing the book. I wrote it because everybody kept telling me, do you have a story? Who's your mentor? Who's your sponsor? Who's your coach? What are you inspired? Why are you motivated? Who motivates you? And I thought, okay, now these questions have to stop. I really don't know what these questions mean, and I haven't the faintest clue. So I decided that I will write 2 pages because, unfortunately, I really find that whenever people try to write stories about women, they're looking for a story. They're worried about the story. They're not worried about the leadership. They're worried about what happened to you rather than where you're going to go. It's all over the world. It's not in India alone. I see it all over the world. Everybody gives the story of your challenges. Can they please turn the equation and let's start talking about your potentials for where you're going to go? Those are the stories I'm looking for. This thing of martyrdom being, equated with leadership for women is a problem. We are not martyrs. We're all winners. There's not a single loser in this room. But they always try to make a story of you, how you lost and then how you became great. And that is why I had to write this. I am the storm in the teacup. Do you have a story? That's my first line. Do you have a story? What motivated you to start the Will Forum? What is the trigger? What is the inspiration? Do you have any mentors or sponsors who helped you achieve this position? I have been asked this question so many times by so many people that I often wonder at the question itself. I'm still wondering at the question itself. I have no story to tell. I have no motivation, I have no mentors, and I have no inspiration. I'll just make this very short. But when a good job needs to be done, you have to get up and finish the job. Does that work? Isn't that enough of a reason? Okay. So you have to finish the job without any barriers, without any negatives, without any helping hands, without any proxy, without any stories. Okay, now I know that this is not exactly what you hear all the time, but I can only tell you what I do. You don't have to wait for a helping hand. If you get it, okay, don't get it, okay. If you get a coach, okay, don't get a coach, okay. If you have a story, okay. If you don't have a story, okay. How does it matter? Actually, it doesn't matter. But you have to finish the job with distinction. Now these are the words you need to remember. Leave the stories, leave the helping hands, leave it all. You have to remember that you have to do the job with distinction, with accomplishment, with stature, with courage, with conviction, with single purpose, with passion, with persuasion, with substance, with style, with voice, with visibility. You can substitute stories for words like this. You can substitute coaching for words like this. You can substitute helping hands with words like this. Leadership cannot be done by proxy. Leadership has to be real and authentic. The rest is called noise. You have to be your own inspiration. You have to be your own energy, or else it will not work. It won't work. 100% it won't work.